couple videos focused on the dark.
Hey YouTube, this is Angie and I'm back with another video. I said I'm back with another video. Today we have 10 disturbing things hidden on the dark, deep web, black, some shit. It's by Chaos. Let's go.
The dark web, and you guys really seem to enjoy them, and there are tons of stories and rumors that go around about the dark web that I'm sure you guys are aware of, but just how many of those rumors are actually true? What is up, guys? Welcome to Chaos Top 10s. My name is Jimmy or Chaos, and today we're going to be checking out 10 very disturbing stories of things found on the dark web. Now, as a disclaimer here, not all of these stories have photo proof of being real, and obviously the ones that do have proof can actually be shown in this video because of how graphic they are. But I'll still give a big viewer discretion is advised for this video right now, so we're all on the same page. And if you tend to get creeped out by disturbing things, this video may not be for you. But for everybody else, let's get started.
Let's go.
Be sure to enter the monthly $200 Amazon gift card here on the channel. It's really easy to enter. All you have to do is like the video, make sure you're subscribed to the channel, and turn on your notifications for a chance to win. Leave a comment why you want it with your Twitter handle, and I will pick the winner at the end of the month. Good luck. Kicking off our list at number 10 is a story from a Reddit user named Semperfi Cerberus, and he says, "It was my third time on the deep web, and I was just looking around at the sites. I found this one guy's homepage, and on the sidebar I saw a link that said, for journalists and people new to the deep web. I clicked on it, hoping that it would be interesting and helpful information to help me, I guess you could say, navigate around the web, right? A new page opened, and a picture started to load, and thank God for my slow internet, because all that loaded was the head of an old Asian man with blood on his chin.
Oh,
I quickly closed the tab before the rest of the image actually loaded down, and to this day, I wonder, what was the whole picture? But at the same time, I'm pretty thankful that I didn't stick around to see it. And to be honest, his slow internet probably saved him from seeing a horrifying picture. Next up at number 9, we have a story from Reddit, and I'm just going to read it to you guys, okay? Found out about it when Silk Road first got shut down, so decided to check it out and found Agora. Spent a lot of time setting up an account, decided to finally buy something, so I bought a gram of MDMA and it all worked perfectly. Then started buying more for myself, then started buying some for friends. Then the next thing I know, I'm ordering ounces of MDMA at a time and thousands of LSD tablets and pretty much every drug you can think of, plus a bunch you've probably never heard of. I was moving all this stuff faster than I could buy it as well, really stupidly I might add, ending up realizing that this was going to end either by me quitting or me going behind bars. So I quit while I was ahead. I ended up over $10,000 in profit and a nice little stash for myself. I bought a trip to Europe and never touched the deep web again. He had about 1,000 empty gel capsules left over, so they filled up a bunch of them with glitter and gave them away to people so they could enjoy their stuff being covered in glitter. I don't know where to go with this story, except for if you don't know about the Silk Road and how it went before it got shut down, you should check it out. Next up at number 8, we have a story that is, I think it's crossing the line when it comes to the content on my channel. And I've debated back and forth whether or not I wanted to actually read this story. So I'm not going to. I'm actually going to censor myself. And number 8 is going to be, I guess you could say, retracted or redacted from this video. I will put a link. However, if you guys want to go read the story for yourself, and I know
you guys want to see that, go check out Chaos.
Kind of weird to me. I've never done this before. I just don't feel like I should put it on the video. At number 7, we have an entry that comes from a Reddit user named Fakeyton. So you can take this with a grain of salt. Here we go. This was back before Google. Web pages were, for the most part, still very basic HTML with JavaScript. Hardly anyone used CSS at that time, and only discussion boards and some banking sites had anything approaching mature front-end, back-end combinations, etc. Early net, real deep web story, not just one about illicit activities, is what they say. I was browsing random blogs, GeoCity sites, and stuff like that, going from link to link. Eventually, I came across an odd page. It appeared to be random thoughts from different people, but for the time, it was actually very well designed. The messages seemed to be cryptic in nature, like several people trying to pass secret notes. I started through the source, and hidden in the comments of the JavaScript were various IP addresses. So I gathered all the IPs in a text file, and I began enumerating. Some were routers with banner messages I could telnet to, almost all at universities, with a warning that says this is a secure system at University of blah, blah, blah. The default Cisco credentials from back in the day worked on most of them, but I didn't poke around too much. A few of the IPs were web servers with little to nothing on them, mostly Apache or Linux.
Okay, so I see this is a different kind of video than we normally do. Shows you that I don't pre-watch the videos. I seen it was 10 disturbing dark web videos, so this is where we're at. Not discrediting the video at all, but it is different from what we watch. But I'm going to continue. I just wanted to put that out there.
Or some BSD, at least one IIS server I can recall. I finally came upon a web server with a huge directory of HTML files and TIFF images with a few smaller subdirectories containing the same. NSLOOKUP returned no reverse records for the IP, and a visual route traced it as far as Colorado. Now, the HTML files appeared to be records of a psychologist or similar mental health professional that they would keep. The images were of faxes, apparently of both military and medical nature. As I browsed from subdirectory back to the parent, at the top was a new HTML file named something like "Hello There." The timestamp was from right at that minute. I opened it, and in plain text was the message, "We see you." No quotes, all lowercase. About 15 seconds later, the server dropped. I will let you guys go down the rabbit hole of conspiracy theories with that one. At number 6, we have a story from Reddit user The Last Promethean. When I was a freshman in high school, my best friend and I were very into the whole deep web thing. We had Tor, and we would exchange onion ports that we had discovered and would explore them together. We saw some very weird stuff, and right off the bat, there was a site for a professional hitman, which we decided was definitely run by the FBI. We discovered a series of Chans or deep web 4chan clones, and some of those were very weird, and some of what we saw was definitely illegal. We were fascinated with those in particular because, of course, we were both ridiculous kids at the time, and lots of disturbing and violent pornography, lots of gore. Sometimes the two overlap together. We tended to stay away from that stuff. It was a pretty big buzzkill. Finding the Silk Road was cool, even though we didn't ever buy anything. And probably the weirdest stuff we ever found were personal ads. There were bulletin boards where people would just ask to do the most deviant, incomprehensible stuff to someone or vice versa. And I think about the Craigslist killer when I remember those things and wonder how many of those people actually ended up acting out those fantasies. At number 5, not everything on the dark web was bad. This next entry is actually a pretty great short story from Reddit user Cheesy Breadstick.
We don't
Back
want
when
the nice
IRC
stuff.
was on its way out and P2P was in its infancy, I tried to download The Sims via a private FTP. The guy I downloaded it from found a Trojan on my computer and actually walked me through how to remove it. I would take a bullet for that dude, and that's pretty rad, but it's still a little creepy that a person he downloaded the game from was able to immediately see there was a Trojan on his computer and help him out. At number 4, from Reddit user Bacon Boy Loiter, writes in comp sci. We have to get bored and dick around. One day we ran into the deep web. The most disturbing site we found was a comprehensive guide for cooking humans. We're not talking about a short joke here. This page had information on what body types to use for specific cuts, how to prepare these cuts, and how to cook a person so they lived as long as they could. It absolutely horrifies me that people way worse than the freaks on Criminal Minds actually exist. And yes, Bacon Boy Loiter, there are some really, really sick, twisted people in the world. At number 3, this one is super simple.
Did they say it'll teach you how to cook a person, or something about keeping them alive? Is that to keep the meat fresh? Oh my God. I can't even imagine the person that's being kept alive just so they could be ate. Okay, that one got me.
But super creepy. Reddit user Tahan writes, I once found a forum dedicated to sharing recordings of the automated message that tell you when the next stop of trains is coming. People would post the recordings that they presumably made themselves, and then they would discuss them. And it haunts me to this day. I have so many questions. At number 2, I loaded up Tor, eager to see all the exciting things they didn't want me to know. It turned out to be a bunch of people selling white power paraphernalia and ranting about the New World Order. I looked a little further and found a bunch of pirated movies and also the protocols of the Elders of Zion. Since like 80% of what I was finding was racist and the other 20% was incredibly boring, I closed down Tor and never opened it again. This was an experience from one Reddit user. And finally, our last entry is a pretty long story from a Reddit user named Self-Aware Aimbot, which is a pretty cool name. I lived in a fraternity house my junior year with about 16 other guys and about 45 in the chapter overall. We had actually been arguing about drugs in the house. About half of us saying it was asking for trouble, and the other half, they were good with it. I was on the side of the former. Earlier on in the school year, a couple guys asked me and some other internet-savvy people about the deep web. I explained basically what I did above, and I didn't really hear anything else about it for a while. After a few months, some of the guys started talking about things that they bought off Silk Road. I assumed they were just lazy and trying to get cheaper weed. Turns out, I was wrong. They had ordered about $5,000 worth of MDMA and acid. This came to light on a sunny afternoon in early April when armed members of HSI, which is Homeland Security Investigations, which is a subdivision of ICE, raided our home. I was upstairs overlooking the parking lot, and a bunch of guys were outside getting ready to go golfing. I watched the car pull up slowly, followed by another one bolting around the corner. The guys on the ground tell me the driver of the second car got a little too excited, and apparently he jumped out of the car with a taser drawn and screamed, "Get on the ground or prepare to feel the thunder."
Damn.
Not wanting to feel the thunder, everybody complied. The more level-headed agents went inside, rounded us all up to sit in the parking lot so they could search the house. And I still have no idea what is going on at this point. After a little while, they explained who they were and after and why. In the aftermath, where 2 guys got arrested on felony drug trafficking. One got arrested with minor charges of possession. They arrested but didn't charge a 4th guy. He was the one whose house the drugs were sent to. We typically don't get mail sent to the chapter house, and they were trying to hide it. This guy had no idea what was in the packages. Another 2 guys got suspended for a year of suspected involvement, and in the end, the 2 main guys got house arrest for the better part of a year in probation. It just goes to show that there is always somebody watching you, even when you're on the internet, even when you think you're hidden. That's probably not the case. And there you have it, my friends. Those are 10 disturbing stories.
Tell me what you thought about the video down in the comment section below. I know it is a different type of video. Maybe I should start watching a few seconds of them to see what kind of vibe they're on. But it was a video. It wasn't a bad video. It was a dark web video, just a different kind of video for our channel. But tell me what you thought about it below. Give me a thumbs up if you did appreciate and like the video. If you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button down there, that red button. Next to it, there is a bell. If you hit the bell and you mark all, you get notified on all my videos. And if you woke up today, you're already winning. Peace.